Well, thanks very much. Hello? I'm Jimmy Carr. We'll move on, shall we? Don't panic, I'm not shit. Clearly you weren't the only one thinking that. It's lovely to be here supporting young adults with learning difficulties. I live near a special needs school. There's a sign outside that says slow children. I thought that can't do much for their self-esteem. But look on the positive side, of course, they can't read it. I should explain the shirt. I'm not gay. Unless you're from Newcastle. And by gay you mean owns a coat. A lot of people come to an important benefit gig like this and they bother to learn their material. They say travel broadens the mind. Except for with Americans, where it seems to widen the arse. Don't get the wrong idea, I've got nothing against Americans. Other than an American came up to me after a show a couple of weeks ago and he said he thought I was patronizing. I said, well, I think you'll find that's pronounced patronizing. It means when you talk down to someone. Did you know you're 10 times more likely to get mugged in London than you are in New York City? It's because you don't live in New York City. When I was a kid, I had an imaginary friend, and I used to think that he went everywhere with me, and that I could talk to him, and he could hear me, and that he could grant me wishes and stuff. And then I grew up, and I stopped going to church. I get the feeling I've divided the room on that one. There seem to be two distinct groups. There's people that thought I was funny, and people that are going to heaven. When people say they hear voices in their heads, as opposed to where exactly? Hearing voices in your legs. That's proper mental. Are there any single men in here this evening? Well, don't panic, sir. I've got some advice for you. If you really like a girl and you ask her out and she says to you, I love you like a brother, suggest a weekend in Norfolk. Unless you're from Norfolk. In which case it probably is your sister. I got a friend that pulled 2 girls last week. I said, they're like buses. He said, yeah, you wait ages and then 2 come along at once. I said, no. They are like buses. Someone came up to me and complained about that joke last week. Quite a big-boned girl. She said, I think you're fattest. I said, no. I think you're fattest. Someone calls Admiral Insurance every 6 seconds for a quote. Or nutter. Environmentalists tell us that every day an area the size of Wales is destroyed. Why is it never Wales? I bought my girlfriend a book called Cheap and Easy Vegetarian Cooking, which is ideal for her because not only is she a vegetarian, The reason old men use Viagra is not because they're impotent. It's because old women are so very ugly. Well, thanks very much. I can assure you that's funny because it's true. Well, I'm going to have to leave you now, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to leave you on a somber note, if I may. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but if you took all the money that we in the West spend on food in 1 week, you could feed the third world for 1 year. Now, I don't know about you good people, but I can't help feeling we're being overcharged for our groceries. I've been Jimmy Carr. Thank you and good night.